Welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on Smash FM here on a Thursday here in Melbourne. But well, of course, we're on location here in Carlton at the moment. But let's go up to our friends up in Queensland. Of course, we're into sunny Queensland, of course, especially to the capital of Brisbane. Of course, being with one of our favourite paracyclists, of course. Well, we were just saying before, when we last had her on the show, I thought thought it was a bit shorter than this, but it was 2020 was the last time we had her on the show. It is great to have her back because her name is Paige. She joins us right now. Thanks, Paige, for joining us.
No, thank you. It's really good to be back.
No worries. Wow, 4 years since we last had you to the show, which was in the lead up to the Tokyo Games. Now we're heading up to the Paris Games in about, almost 6-7 months now. Tell us, what have you been doing since we last had you on the show?
Yes, it's been a few years now. Yeah, we had Tokyo, which that was surreal. It was such an amazing experience, and yeah, hoping to do it all again this year. It's yeah, got another few big goals. Hopefully getting selected for Paris. So yeah, had a few World Championships, World Cups in the last few years, in the lead up to Paris and after Tokyo. So it's another little stepping stone to the big races this year, hopefully.
So what's the first race you got coming up in the lead up to the Paris Games?
Yeah, so I've got a trial in March on the track for the my 3 kilometre individual pursuit. So that's in Brisbane, and hoping we've got a time in mind to we want to achieve, and that's hopefully that will be Paris standard. I'm not traveling to Track Worlds this year. Just we decided I'm not gonna travel overseas, and I'm just gonna keep training in Brisbane consistently. We'll do the trial in March, see where we're at. Hopefully it's the time we want. And then from there, not 100% sure when the team's selected, but it's it's very close to Paris.
Wind the clock back. 2021 was the actual Tokyo Games. So how did you go over there?
Yeah, I won my individual pursuit and broke the world record in my category. And on the road, I came third in the time trial in the road race. So yeah, I look back, it was pretty surreal. I think coming up to this year and I'm reflecting on what I did well in Tokyo has been really great. It brings back a lot of really great memories, and it's really does inspire myself and help motivate myself to to look towards Paris and try and replicate but add new things into my training this year.
How surreal was it? 2021, the first and hopefully only Paralympic Games where there was virtually no one there. How surreal was it?
Oh, it was you work so hard and you train every day, and then you get that phone call that you're going to the Paralympics, and then you get there. And I remember walking to the velodrome for the first time. There's like a little you walk up into the pit area and you see it. Yeah, I remember seeing the ceiling and the track, and that's when it all really hit me, like, wow, I made it, I got here. And I think about it too much. I do get very I can get a little bit emotional because it was just such a moment to remember. And I look back at my career, and before cycling I did athletics. I was a sprinter and I always wanted to get to the Paralympics. I wanted to get to Rio for athletics, and I didn't make the team. So when I switched to cycling, and I decided I wanted to try and make the team, the Paralympic team in cycling, and then to have made it and get there, just all of that build up and experiences and ups and downs, just I know the word surreal keeps just coming into my head because I just think it was very special.
How strange was it to compete in front of no one?
Yeah, it was it was very strange for me. It still felt like, it was my first Paralympics, so I can't really compare, but it still felt like a Paralympics because of the kit and the cameras were following you around on the start line, and then afterwards you'd go through like the media zone and that, and there was still heaps of journalists and camera people everywhere. So if I make Paris this year, it's going to be a lot different. So it's going to be a whole new experience, which is really strange to think of, like Tokyo and then how different Paris is going to be.
So since the Tokyo Games to now, what other big events that's been a highlight to you?
Yeah, the last few years have been good. There's been a few ups and downs. So when I think of it, at the moment, probably Paris Track Worlds, I think in 2022, it was good to get onto the track that's going to be the track that we race on in Paris. That was I didn't do my individual pursuit, but I did my sprint events. So I got third in that, which was really good because I'm not a sprinter. I'm more endurance athlete now. So yeah, that would probably be one of the highlights. Yeah. Lots of learning experiences, a lot of things that I didn't expect would happen in the last few years, some good and bad, but yeah, it's all experience for this year.
Tell us a bit about your coach.
Yeah, my coach Dave, he's been my coach since late at the end of 2019. I think we work really well together. I think over the years we've really learnt, with my cerebral palsy and how much I can push myself and how much recovery really isn't. It's important to every athlete. You train hard, but you got to recover harder. But for me, with having cerebral palsy, I think we've really learned how much training can affect me and how much recovery is really needed. But I'm really lucky to have a really awesome team around me, and I've got a really supportive and dedicated coach. So I think I'm very lucky to have a really great team around me that's got me to Tokyo and that are still with me leading into Paris this year.
You mentioned your disability, cerebral palsy, which is actually funny. I actually had another cerebral palsy Paralympian on the show just recently as well, in Tamsin Colley. Yeah, okay. I'll get to that part in a moment. Now I'm assuming that you know her. Tell us your training, and especially how you been how has been adapted to your condition.
Yeah, so cerebral palsy is very individual for everybody, and I think so I've got 2 days off during the week. I've got Thursday, Sunday completely off, and every other training days it is full on. But I think understanding my body and when my right arm and leg, which is the side I've got cerebral palsy on, when that gets tight, it can get a bit painful and I can get more tired as opposed to someone that doesn't have cerebral palsy. So I've just got to make sure that I'm really on top of my sleep and recovery. There's massage and physio, so I get to try and get a massage every week just to try and really focus on massaging my arms and legs to make sure that they're recovered and don't pull up as tight for the next training day. So then hopefully if I recover well the next training day, I can give 100% effort, hopefully. But there are some days that I will be a little bit more tired than other days, but then we just got to understand when we can maybe try and continue the training session, or maybe today is just not the day that I'll be able to hit the power targets that I need to, if that makes sense.
Just mentioned the name I had on the show just recently in Tamsin Colley. Now, Obviously, you know her, I'm assuming. Is that correct?
Yes, I think I've met her a few times. But yeah, not too well, but yeah, I do follow her. I think, yeah, on Instagram and her career.
How much does that mean to you, like the inspiration that obviously that she does? How does that translate to what you do?
Yeah, I think we got a really great, really awesome community of really talented athletes, and I think everyone's got their own individual story and of where they've come from and where they are now. And I think talking to other para athletes, I can really draw on what they do and what they do the same as me is in recovery or training, what they may do differently, and what I can learn from them. So I think everyone can kind of draw off each other and really learn lots about each other. And yeah, there are definitely a lot of athletes that I'm very inspired and motivated by, just with how they approach their training and their impairment and how they adapt to compete, but at the highest level.
Anyone that missed out on the interview that we had with you 4 years ago, how did you get involved in cycling and why did you choose it?
I actually, quite a funny story at the start. Sorry, not at the start. I think I was about 12 or 13. I went to a Paracyclist try day and they gave cycling a go, or I think it was like a few tests that I did. You try different sports and that. And they said I should give cycling a go. At the time, I was like, I didn't want a bar of it. I was really stubborn. I wanted to keep doing athletics, and I had goals in athletics that I wanted to go to the Paralympics. But when I didn't make the team, I decided I needed to give cycling a go. Because everyone had always said, you should give it a go. You might be good at it, you might love it. And yeah, when I gave it a go, I learned about the sport and I love to travel. And there are some really amazing places that you can go to competing. And I was really also inspired by some of the other athletes that I'd spoken to. So very different from athletics. Now I'm an endurance athlete, whereas athletics, I was a sprinter. But I went to nationals, thought I'd give it a go. I got second in both the road and track events, and then I really loved it. I thought, I'm going to give this a real hot shot a go. I moved to Adelaide and trained really hard. I had one more semester of my exercise and sports science degree that I finished in Adelaide, and I went to nationals that following year, and I came first and qualified for my first track world. So it's a funny story. I didn't really at the start wanted to give cycling a go, and then when I did, it's always the way. You give it a go, and you're like, oh, love it. I should have given this a go earlier.
Yeah.
So it's all part of it.
You miss athletics?
I don't. No, I think when I finished athletics, I think it was I was pretty I was finished. I learned a lot about how to be an athlete, determination, competing, but I was, when I knew I was done, I was like I think I stayed in the sport probably because I really had a good training environment, and I'd just grown up always doing athletics and other sports as well. But when I was done, I was finished.
Okay. What does the sport of cycling mean to you now?
Cycling means a lot to me. It's a really big part of my life. I'm a full-time athlete, and I think cycling means a lot. I've done a lot of there's been a lot of ups, a lot of downs. I've traveled the world with amazing people and competed on my bike. So I think just having that experience and going overseas to race, I'm an elite athlete. I love to win. I love to go and try and win every race, but to be able to be on the paracycling team and do it with some really amazing people on the team and travel. Yeah, it means a lot. It's yeah, I love it. I want to do it as long as I can.
What would be your advice to people out there who have a disability that should get involved in any sport? And then the second part of that question, very similar, advice to them that are hopefully fulfill their dreams and hopefully do what you're doing now.
I would say, when I look back at when I first started, I would say give it a go. Give sport a go. Try everything that you want to. And if you really enjoy something and you want to give it a go, surround yourself with really good people that are going to support you and help you get there. Because for me, getting to where I haven't been able to do it with a really amazing team and group of people. And to have that with you is really important, but also to believe in yourself and believe that you can do it and that you want to do it. Because if you really want to do it and you want to achieve it, that's what's going to get you to training every day and that drive. When you race or just at training.
Do you have a pre-competition superstition or ritual, and has it changed since we last had you on the show 4 years ago?
I don't have a superstition, but I always do my hair in braids. Like that's always always have my hair in braids, and I always get my nails done. Always either a bright pink or maybe not always bright pink, but so so they're probably the two main things. You'll always see me in braids and a different colored nails. As long as it goes with the Aussie colours. you got to plan it so the colour goes with the the shade of the gold and green.
Oh, absolutely. Now, do you have an embarrassing moment on the track? There's got to be one.
I think back to when I very first started, when I was still new at it, still giving everything a go. I remember starting out of the starting line. I just all of a sudden was on the fly. I went over the bars.
Oh.
Yeah, I was okay. I had a few bruises, but I remember being really embarrassed from that because I don't even know how I did it. I think just the bike didn't come out of gate, but yeah, I can't think of many. Yeah, that one comes to mind straight away.
Now, I know you're Victorian. Now, you're currently in Queensland at the moment. Do you miss Melbourne?
I do. I love Brisbane. I've got a really, I do love Brisbane, but Melbourne is just home. I've got family. I've got my friends there. Brisbane's doing great, but yeah, Melbourne's just home. I grew up in Melbourne. It's but I do miss it. I did just change my driver's license to Queensland, so I feel like I'm a bit of a traitor now because I try and get down as often as I can. And next time I'm interviewed will be both in Melbourne.
All right, well, we'll make sure that happens then.
Yes.
So we'll finish with these last two. Anyone that should follow you on your socials, especially on Insta, how can I go about it, Paige?
Yes, I'm on Instagram, just Paige Greco, and also I think my full Paige Greco OAMPLY, and that's the same for Facebook as well. And I'm on LinkedIn as well. I keep forgetting about that one. But my main ones are Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah. You're in Brisbane at the moment. as well. So talking about your squad that you have up there, I'm sure you're training with the squad up there. Who is the comedian, the best singer, and into their TikTok/Be Real? Be honest.
Thanks. I feel like everyone, it's always a good vibe at training. Everyone's always pretty happy and good spirit. I can't really I can't really at the moment think of like one person exactly, but yeah, it is a good crew.
Well, you might as well give your local cycling club back here in Melbourne a bit of a shout out.
So my cycling club is up here, but I did start when I first started cycling, I started off with St Kilda Cycling Club. So when I do come down to Melbourne, I always try and get a ride in with all of them. So shout out to you guys.
And you might as well give your Queensland one a shout out as well. You might as well.
Oh, the Life Cycle Cycling Club, and with QAS. So
well, Paige, it is so awesome to have you on the show. It's been way too long since we last had you on the show. As I said, can't wait to see you back in Melbourne again, and hopefully get to catch up with you in person this time around. Let us know when you get in here, and hopefully we'll be able to catch up with you on your brief stay down here in Melbourne when you have a chance.
Yeah, perfect. Sounds good. Thanks for having me. Good to catch up again.
No worries. And that's Paige Greco there. Join us there, of course, the Paracyclist. Hopefully we'll get to see her over in Paris about mid this year. There's more on the Smash Sport Show right after this. Don't go here on the 10th year celebration.